What's up, everyone? We hope you've been well. Today, Tracy and I and the pups are up in North Georgia. And well, this adventure isn't going how we originally planned. The intention of this video was to be a fun glamping trip. And well, last night at 9:30 p.m. when we went to go check into the cabin that we had booked up here in North Georgia, the trip went from glamping to camping. And being that it's Thanksgiving weekend, it's got us thinking, because we're thankful for the ability to be flexible. It was a little disappointing last night when we realized that somebody else was already staying in the cabin that we had booked for ourselves for this beautifully weathered North Georgia weekend. And we contacted the host, and obviously there was no way to resolve this. At 9:30 at night, we were already out of a place where we had intended to be sleeping. And that's where flexibility comes in, because it was an easy agreement to make. There's plenty of property that the host here has, and we were able to come to the agreement that we could still camp on the property since we were so well equipped as overlanders. Luckily, we did bring the truck, and being that we brought the truck, we had everything that we needed to be able to set up camp and still enjoy our weekend. And so that is something that me and Tracy are thankful for. We're thankful for the ability to be able to do these things that we love, to be able to share these adventures with you. And we're thankful for the flexibility that comes along with the hobby of overlanding. So this weekend, we are going to make the best out of the weekend that we can still make it. We have some new things that we're testing out, and we had some fun ideas that we are still going to enjoy, but some fun ideas for glamping. So today, we're glamping in North Gazzelle with our cabin away from home. And so welcome to our cabin away from home. We are inside of our Gazzelle G6 Cool Top Edition Gazebo, and we don't bring the Gazebo on every trip we're going to take. However, for the glamping one, we were planning to use it by the little pond out in front of the greenhouse cabin. And man, are we thankful that we brought this Gazebo, because this is now the perfect place to be our cabin for the day. And this whole double booking thing, it happens and we understand it. And it's actually not the first time this has ever happened to Tracy and I. And it's definitely not the worst time it's ever happened to Tracy and I.
The worst time was right after we got married. We booked our honeymoon in Norway. We spent 2 weeks on a driving tour going between Oslo and Bergen and back to Oslo. And we arranged the second half of our trip to stop at this boutique hotel where each room was like its own theme. I had found it like on Pinterest back in the day. And so we, arranged our second half of the trip so we'd stop at this boutique hotel and spend 2 nights in this room. There was like trails, and it was just, very interesting, like boutique hotel with, the trails around it you could walk on and stuff like that. And
a very unique experience.
Yeah, and so, we got to the hotel and we went to check in, and turns out the room we booked, someone was already checked in and staying in the room we were supposed to stay in, which, on your honeymoon, that's the last thing you want to hear about, especially after, spending a lot of time and money planning. And
that one was hard to not be mad about.
But they did fortunately have a different room available, so we stayed in there, but
it was an entirely different, unique experience.
Yeah, and not exactly what we wanted, but we still enjoyed our stay there. It just was, definitely a little upsetting to have that ruined on our honeymoon, but
and so for this stay here, the host was very kind, very accommodating, And we're not going to go into the details, but they certainly made the situation right. And thankfully, we are also just the right people to have been able to be flexible enough to now shift over and stay in our own setup just here on the property. And the property is Rolling Ridge Stays. We booked it on Hip Camp. The other people that are in the cabin that we booked on VRBO. And I mean, it happens. It's supposed to be passive. They're not supposed to be able to book the same thing at the same time. And they were very apologetic, the hosts, and like I said, they were very kind about it. But there was really no way to make it right. If somebody else is already in there, you can't just try to kick them out, kind of thing.
Another thing too, you know, it's the weekend right after Thanksgiving, so you know, the days leading up to this, you know, they're probably focused on family and, you know, their Thanksgiving and, you know, all those things versus making sure it's not double booked. So, it's just an unfortunate situation, but we're going to make the best of it.
Yeah, and the place is very cool, and we're looking forward to possibly checking it out at a later time. Very much like our honeymoon trip, there are 3 different unique cabins positioned around a really pretty little pond area. We got to walk around it this morning, and there is the greenhouse, which is the one that we were going to be staying in. There is the birdhouse, which is another cool looking area, cabin. And then there is the boho A-frame, which to me looks like by far the coolest one. It is just an A-frame cabin, but one half of the front wall flips up to be an awning so that you can be both inside and outside, and it just looks really cool and looks like a really unique little cabin stay. And you know, we're tucked away nice and quiet here, kind of just behind the bathroom area, and we've got our own peaceful little area. And so, like we said, we're going to make the best of this, and we're probably going to try to check this place out at a later date. But for now, we're just going to keep enjoying our coffee, enjoying the beautiful sounds of nature. The sun has finally come up. It's starting to warm us up. And maybe in a little while here, we'll introduce you to our neighbor, Richard.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel whole. They won't leave your side when you lose control. The ones that don't let you lose your soul. You gotta find your people, the ones that get the joke, who understand what you're saying for a word is spoken.
You want the cheese? Echo?
You gotta find your people that put the needle in the groove.
Hey, can
when
the puppy
you're
have a
together,
book?
you got nothing to prove.
I'm sure he'd love to have his butterfly.
When you're together, you got nothing to lose.
I don't even know what that is.
In a
I don't even know
world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost.
He's the puppy.
You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people that'll call your bluff, who ride along when the road is rough. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel equal. They pick you up and don't put you down, help you find your way in the lost and found. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. The ones that understand you, the ones that lend a hand to you, the ones that don't demand tell you the truth and wish you well. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself.
This is our neighbor Richard. He's a chicken. We didn't know about Richard last night when we set up camp here, but we found out about Richard pretty early on in the morning. Now, I always thought roosters did their cock-a-doodle-doo thing at dawn or like sunrise. Well, Richard here decided 4 o'clock in the morning was when everybody should be waking up. And that is when he startled us while we were sleeping, because Richard is only about 20-30 feet away from our camp, and Richard can cockle-doodle-doo really dang loud. But the girls absolutely love watching him. He is able to be seen by our gazebo over there. They've just been staring at Richard over here pretty intensely, and they just absolutely love watching him. But that's enough about our neighbor Richard. Our other neighbors, everybody else that's camping here at a cabin, looks like they've taken off. So it looks like it's about the right time to wake up all the sleeping pups from the tent to see if we can go for a walk and check out some of the other cabins and get a little bit more of a closer look. Kuma and everybody's just sleeping out here. I just finished up dishes, but yeah, I think we're gonna go check out the cabins. You all want to go for a walk? Echo? Oh yeah. Let's go for a walk.
We're on top of the world. On top of the world. Feels like we're on top of the world. Yeah. Just take a look around. Feels like we're on top of the world. On top of the world. Yeah. Show you how. Let's run away to a place only we know. Just come with me and turn it upside down and be like, ooh. Feels like we're on top of the world. Yeah, on top of the world. Feels like we're on top of the world. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's just the time of year, but the walk around the pond, getting to look at the different cabins was excellent, especially with the color of the leaves up on the pond and the little cabins nestled into the corners of the pond. What an awesome little place, an awesome little campsite. I'm really happy we got to take a look at the cabins better. I still think the coolest one by far is going to be the A-frame one. It's that third one in around the pond. I think I'd really enjoy getting the opportunity to stay at one of the cabins for a weekend. This is a cool little campground area. Real nice, quiet, and private. But we are back at our campsite here, tucked away behind the restroom and the shop. And now I don't know if it's just because we drove all day yesterday, or if it's just the type of day it is and it's beautiful weather, or maybe it's even because of Richard back here, but nothing sounds better to me than hanging out at camp and taking a short nap. So I think that's what we're gonna do. And I can't wait to show you some of the cool things that we have new to us a little later today. Well, so taking a nap was definitely the right decision. And actually, in the last hour that we have been napping, the temperatures have dropped dramatically. It is supposed to get into the low 30s tonight. And at the end of our nap, the owners of the property actually stopped by to bring us some towels, because there is a restroom and a shower available here. We're actually camping just right behind that. And they also wanted to see if there was anything else that we might need for our stay. Luckily, we're fully equipped for what we've got going on here. So we were doing just fine, and we really enjoyed our conversation with them. They're very nice people. They also stopped by to feed Richard and the chickens. But yeah, just really nice couple, and it was really nice talking with them. And we really appreciate them stopping by to see if there's anything that we need, especially it being Thanksgiving weekend. And being that it's also the weekend after Thanksgiving, one of the things a lot of us look forward to around this time are Black Friday sales. And that's where we have actually gotten the opportunity on this trip to be testing out a little bit of new gear. And, well, we've actually filmed half the episode with our new camera here, our Sony ZV-E10, and we hope that you haven't actually been able to notice, because this camera is a much lighter option for filming on, but it is also very similar to our normal filming rig. This is our Sony A7S III. This is a just behemoth of a camera here, and this is our normal package here that Tracy's holding. So this is the Sony A7S III with our 24-70 lens, and we are usually got the camera, or we usually have the camera on our DJI Ronin RS3 gimbal. Now, we have some adventures coming up in 2024 where weight is going to be a real consideration. And so that is where this camera comes in, because it is like half the size of that body, and the lenses are a lot smaller. But the important thing about this camera compared to that one is that they're both using E-mount lenses. So we could actually take that lens off and put it on this camera. And the other important thing is that both cameras have S-Log3, which is the color profile that we typically film in. So we're excited to see what the footage is like when we get this camera home, get the footage off, and are able to put this video together to see how comparable the footage is and how closely we can get them to match. Because when using multiple cameras, it's nice to keep things looking all the same. Is any of this necessary for running a YouTube channel? Absolutely not. Many successful channels are being made with just phone footage and GoPro footage. These cameras are 100% satisfying Tracy and I, and especially me. I do most of the editing, and I absolutely love looking at the footage that these cameras produce. And though they're very similar in specifications, they both have 4K 24 frames a second, have pretty similar color profiles. One thing that's going to be a big difference between these two cameras is that The A7S III has what's called 10-bit color and allows for some... It gives more room for color grading, which is actually my favorite part of editing our episodes. And the Sony ZV-E10 only has 8-bit color. It shouldn't be too big of a difference because we don't typically color grade our stuff very crazy. So, like I said, we are so excited to see how the footage looks out of this new camera. And like I said, half the episode has already been filmed on it. And I hope you haven't even noticed until now.
Every day's a holiday. Every day's a holiday.
Well, so the sun has set and it is finally dark out. Tracy and I have done a little bit of pre-packing tonight already because with the trip going from glamping to camping, we didn't get to really experience the area nearby. We were hoping to be able to check out some trails while we were here. And, main reason is because once setting up the rooftop tent, we just didn't want to open and close this thing. So we just kind of hunkered in for today. We plan on getting everything packed up tonight, a little bit later on, so that tomorrow we can get a nice early start, get the pups out on a nice trail hike somewhere nearby, get them tired for our 8-hour drive home. Now, also being that this video, the original theme was supposed to be glamping, we have found an awesome new piece of gear that is right along the theme of glamping. But it really doesn't matter. It can be for just any purpose. We think we have just come across a truly awesome piece of gear. We tested it out last night. It worked amazingly. So we're really excited to share this with you. But tonight, Tracy and I are playing Nintendo Switch in our gazebo tent. We're going to be playing some Mario Kart tonight. And this is just awesome. So let me show you real quick how it is that we're doing this. To power everything, we're running everything off of our Bluetti EB3A portable battery bank. It is a 268 watt battery bank. It is a very nice, compact, small size battery bank, and it is perfect for usually running the lights in our tents, charging up devices like our phones, and tonight we're using it to power our Nintendo Switch from home, as well as keeping the new piece of gear, the Anker Nebula Capsule, keeping it charged up so we can play. So this is a soda can sized projector from the company Anker. It has its own speakers. It has a battery bank with what's advertised as a 4-hour runtime. However, that's on battery save mode, which is about half the light output. In our setting here, we need all of the light output, so it's really like about an hour and a half runtime. And so that's why we have it being charged up with the Bluetti battery bank. This thing also has smart app capability, so you can download Netflix, watch YouTube videos. Last night we watched one of our Netflix episodes on the projector here. And tonight we are casting our projection up on our Yeti Lowlands blanket. This is normally on the ground of the tent right down here for the dogs. It is purple, so everything in the background is just slightly purple. But this is better than what we had last night because we forgot to bring the like gray or white bed sheet that we were intending on bringing. And last night we watched our show on, I kid you not, 2 gray towels, and it worked, but it was a little weird. But either way, just awesome to be able to project onto the wall of the tent here. And now before anybody goes down in the comments below and complains that we're out in nature and we should be experiencing nature and solitude, there's so many different ways to experience being outside. And we do a ton of different varieties of that. But we wanted to share what we found because we stumbled across this and I just thought it was an awesome way to elevate someone's camping if they're interested. We like to do trips with some of our friends. They bring small kids and it's not always easy to entertain kids. So I was thinking, how cool would it be to be able to just, get them outside experiencing nature, but they can also enjoy their time and think it's really cool by being able to come out and play Switch. That's just a pretty cool device there. Tracy and I often like to watch our show before we go to bed, whatever it is that we're watching at the time. And last night, being able to sit in here comfortably, have good audio, almost good visuals, but really cool to be able to have it cast on the wall of the tent. It was just awesome. Tracy and I like to spend quality time like that. So we hope you enjoy what we've shared with you in this episode. We hope you have enjoyed the episode. And we know that we're filming this the weekend after Thanksgiving. We're about a month out from the release of videos. So this video will be being released right around Christmas time. So we want to take the opportunity to wish you and your family happy holidays. And Tracy and I are just going to spend the rest of the night hanging out playing Mario Kart. As always, thank you for watching. Do more of what you love, and we hope to see you on the next one.
To learn more about us and find out ways to help support the adventures, visit our website, sunshinestatebikings.com. And to keep up with our adventures, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Sunshine State Vikings.